Every morning I wake up and I've set myself a bar. If I don't go to the gym, I don't, go outside a little bit, I don't go to work, anything related to not doing relates to me feeling like I've been unproductive. And it plagues me every time I have a little bit of rest. I'm currently on sick leave. I'm sick with COVID. I've got a sniffly nose, body aches, everything feels wrong with me. I've got fever. And all I can think about is going back to work and being productive, going to the gym, because I physically feel or like mentally feel ill about doing nothing. And it's hard for me to just rest. The definition of productivity and being productive when you look it up is to produce or being able to produce large amounts of goods, crops, or other commodities, or relating to the engagement of production. And for me, it's also this definition of results and achieving significant progress. When I rest, I'm not doing anything, and therefore I am not achieving what I desire. And it's also hard to put a metric on desire. I think for me, desire is to be physically fit, to have a high, stable income, to own a house, and especially in today's economy within Australia, even owning a house is becoming unaffordable, and as a younger generation, we are being priced out. I mean, that's a bit of a pre-ramble, but let's actually talk about this myth of productivity. So if it is being in a state of production, of generating some form of results, whether or not that's physical or mental or, any sort of tangible or intangible result, we have an output desire. And what I was listening to a podcast the other day is that when we wake up, we set ourselves this bar of productivity. As I was saying earlier, if I don't go to the gym, therefore I am unproductive. But it means that this minimum base rate of productivity means we have to be doing something constantly every day. But if you think about it in a different spin, instead of waking up and you haven't reached that minimum threshold of productivity, you can spin it and think of this idea of we wake up in a state of flat level productivity. I have or haven't done anything, and that's okay. Then anything you add on top of that, let's say I do go to the gym, that is added productivity. So it's not like we're trying to reach a minimum, it's we are already at the minimum, and anything on top is achieving this level of productivity. And that means we're not feeling this negativity when we don't do things. And if you're like me, there is this ever consuming guilt of being quote unquote unproductive. You're not supposed to be gaming right now. You're not supposed to be sick from work and recovering. Anything related to this line of not doing, I feel this buildup of guilt. And from my perspective, I actually have been extremely productive and have achieved a lot in the past year. I finished my university course, and meanwhile I was finishing it, I secured a full-time gig that I was working part-time throughout university last year, and am now working full-time now. So I have a secure, stable job with a secure income anyways. So it really isn't like I haven't been productive. It's just like, what do I do now in the downtime that I have after my 9 to 5? And that's why I believe setting goals is a good thing to do at the start of the year. But I was also listening to this podcast talking about how to set good New Year's goals. In it, essentially, it discussed, I actually really don't remember now that I brought it up, but it's this idea of, at the start of the year, reflect on yourself as a 75-year-old. What can you do this year to piss yourself off? And it's a good point of reflection to think into the future and to sort of backcast, which is this idea of working backwards from the future, and putting this idea of if I was to do everything wrong right now this year, what would it be? And it would be, for me, it would be using my phone before bed for an hour, 2 hours to doom scroll. That would probably piss me off when I was, if I'm 75. But it's also to premise the fact that, don't think negatively all the time, because it's also good to think positively, or sort of in a neutral light on these ideas of goals and productivity. Which sort of brings me back to this idea of guilt And I understand it's hard to stop feeling guilty, but I am building up this resilience to my own thoughts and understanding that decompression time and enjoying hobbies and catching up on, TV slop. That's okay. And another ramble is about being sick. I hate being sick. And as I was saying, I am currently on sick leave, which means, I get some time off work to recover. And I still feel like, maybe I should work from home or I should like do something productive, which is why I'm sort of making this YouTube video. I was away across the weekend, so I couldn't do my weekend normal Saturday video, but that's okay. I'm here now. The idea is you need to set yourself time to recover. It's okay to be sick and just do nothing. And I need to internalize myself that as well, which is why I'm projecting it here. If you are lost as well for ways to think to be productive as well, let's say you actually are just sitting in bed every single day. If I was doing that, I don't think I would be happy with myself, in brutal honesty, which is why I appreciate the routine of work, even though it's a 9 to 5. 9 to 5s can become what am I saying? Can become mundane, but I'm enjoying my 9 to 5. But yeah, let's say you really don't have much on your plate. Honestly, I think getting into some form of hobby is a great idea to spend your time. And it's fun and it is productive because you are producing something, you are doing something. I will say it can be as easy as going on walks every day. I think physical activity is a fantastic, like, we need to do that. At least, they say at least 60 minutes a day of vigorous exercise. I probably fail that because I'm sitting on my bum all day and working away. But really, like, just like going on like a 10-minute walk resets your mind. Other hobbies, like I was thinking about picking up crochet. I bought like, your crochet hook, your wool. I haven't gotten into it, but it's something to do as well. And music, I think, is a fantastic hobby to get into. I play piano, although not as much as I should or enjoy. Like, I think, like, I love creating something, and a part of hobbies that I inherit is that there is some form of creation behind it. Even like this YouTube. This is like a hobby. People can make videos on their phones nowadays. Really, this is all I had to talk about today. I think, yeah, it's this idea of the myth is you have to be productive 24/7, and that's the myth I tell myself all the time. And the way that I see in me breaking that is understanding, waking up, that I am not at a below minimum rate of productivity, but I am just myself. And I can enjoy what I do across the day, and anything added on top of that is that level of productivity. And if I'm at this base level and I don't do anything, that doesn't mean I've been unproductive. It just means I haven't been as productive or done many productive things, but I'm still at this base level of self actualization and realization that that's okay. I think the more I go on, the more complex I'm making it for no apparent reason. So I'm going to end my entry today here, and have a good one. Stop being guilty.